Unity is very rare in our world. But yesterday we saw it, all thanks to US President Donald Trump. He unveiled his Gaza plan this week, a plan to remove Palestinians and rebuild the Strip. His end goal is to create a Riviera, a sort of resort town in Gaza, and cue the criticism. European powers, China, Russia, Arab nations, all of them rejected Trump's plan. So his team had to dial it down. Remember, Trump said he would take over Gaza, but the White House has assured that US soldiers will not be used, and they've also refused to fund the rebuild.
The president has not committed to putting boots on the ground in Gaza. He has also said that the United States is not going to pay for the rebuilding of Gaza. His administration is going to work with our partners in the region to reconstruct this region.
So no US troops, no US money. Then what exactly is Trump's contribution? It's like that one member of the group project in school who does nothing but takes the credit. And what about the Gazans? Trump wants Egypt and Jordan to host them. He said they shouldn't return to Gaza because it is unlucky. Again, his team has dialed it down. They say the relocation is temporary.
The only thing President Trump has done very generously, in my view, is offer the United States willingness to step in, clear the debris, clean the place up from all the destruction that's on the ground, clean it up of all these unexploded munitions. And in the meantime, the people living there will not be able, the people who call that home will not be able to live there while you have crews coming in and removing debris, while you have munitions being removed, etc.
So that's what Trump is offering. He will clean up the debris and clear the bombs, which makes sense, I guess. After all, most of the bombs did come from the US. But either way, one thing is clear. This plan is a non-starter. Nobody in West Asia or the world is accepting it, which makes you wonder, where did the idea come from? Who gave this plan to Trump? If you've seen the movie Inception, this will be easier to understand. The movie is about entering another person's dream. Once you enter, you plant an idea in it, and that idea grows into a plan. Something similar seems to have happened here. The Riviera idea probably came from Trump's son-in-law. His name is Jared Kushner. He's married to Trump's daughter, Ivanka. Kushner played a key role in Trump's first term. He was placed in charge of West Asia to strike a comprehensive peace deal for the region. He got mixed results, but in the process, he also made some contacts. He began seeing potential in Gaza, not for peace, but for beachfront tourism. He floated the idea in March last year. Listen to this.
Usually when wars happen, borders are changed historically over time. In Gaza's waterfront property, it could be very valuable to, if people would focus on kind of building up, livelihoods. But I think from Israel's perspective, I would do my best to move the people out and then clean it up.
It's the same plan pitched by Trump. Eject the people, clean out the Strip, and build a Riviera. Trump already has a real estate background, so when Kushner planted the idea, it grew, which brings us to present day. Trump's West Asia envoy recently visited Gaza. He too has a real estate background. His name is Steve Witkoff. After returning from Gaza, this is what he told Trump.
There's 30,000 unexploded munitions. It is the buildings that could tip over at any moment. There's no utilities there whatsoever. No working water, electric, gas, nothing. God knows what kind of disease might be festering there.
This left an impression on Donald Trump. Plus, he was getting desperate. No one was offering him a feasible plan. The Arab states were not pitching in, and he was told that rebuilding Gaza would take 10 to 15 years, so Trump decided to shake things up, to spur the regional players into action. Apparently, that was the intention of his plan, shock and awe. Now, this strategy has worked in some cases. This week, Trump imposed tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Both countries gave minor concessions. In his first term, he derided and mocked NATO. The allies responded by hiking defense budgets to 2%. So shock and awe can work, and it has worked in the past. But in this case, it backfired spectacularly. The Arab nations are not playing ball. They will never fund the displacement of Palestinians. It shows the limits of Trump's tactics. He sees West Asia as a deal-making landscape. His envoy sees it as one giant real estate deal. That approach did work in the first term. Trump got multiple Arab nations to recognize Israel, but this time he went too far. He thought his personal equations would smoothen differences. Jared Kushner thought so too. He runs a private investment firm nowadays. It is flush with Gulf money. The Saudis have invested $2 billion. The UAE and Qatar have also invested millions. Plus, the Trump organization has assets in the Gulf. They're building towers in Riyadh and Dubai. Was Donald Trump counting on these personal equations? Perhaps he was. But this isn't a normal real estate deal, you see. It's a decades-old conflict. There are lives, emotions, and history at stake, not just a piece of land. We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we've put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir in we're on our way to Tel Aviv. City measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
we were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote efforts. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.